What's up, y'all? Stash TV, stash.com. We are over here with one of the most talented newcomers I've heard in a long time. She's a newcomer to most people, but she's been around the block a few times. Tish, how you doing, man?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah. So tell me, a while ago, we met at a listening session, and we go to these listening sessions all the time. You know what I'm saying? But not many of them, especially from somebody who's pretty much a new face, kind of like sticks with people like you stuck with myself. I remember Sway was in there, people from Billboard, Complex, everybody couldn't stop talking about you. Tell me about that day and, how that whole thing went about for you.
That day was pretty fucking awesome. It was like, I've been trying to get in business for a while now, and I guess the time was right. So that day was awesome. Everybody was so receptive. I had a good time. I had a good time explaining like what the album was about and just like being asked questions that I never were asked before. So it was pretty awesome. It's just like fucking winging it. It's awesome.
Well, when people hear you, obviously, the Lauryn Hill comparisons are gonna come flying out the gate, but it's so much more than that. So when people compare you or your sound to her, how does that make you feel?
Lauryn was so amazing. So it's a compliment for me. We're two different types of women. So it doesn't bother me because I know when they hear the album, they're going to be like, oh, this bitch is on her own shit. We're nothing alike. But our tone is similar. I think for me, my album, in my mind, was more like a combination between the Miseducation and like Ready to Die and like Jay-Z Reasonable Doubt. In my head, I'm harder than that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, I'm more of a street chick than Lauryn was. So I'm cool with the comparison. It's all good. As long as that's to be compared to someone, so great who made such an incredible body of work that thank you.
So, you had a song called Subway Art that's been making the rounds right now, and it's very emotional, very, intense, you know what I'm saying? And it's mixed with soul, mixed with MCing, mixed with R&B, and it just makes this gumbo of good shit. So tell me about your inspiration for Subway Art and how that song came about.
The whole album is pretty much like an autobiography, so it's just based on things that touched me in my life from the age of 6 to maybe like 25. So that's what the album's about. And Subway Art, I rode the train a lot growing up in New York. Rode the train probably about maybe 6 times a day. One city here, Brooklyn, wherever. And while you're on the train, you see a lot of homeless people on the train. Not even just homeless, like drug addicts, just people on the train asking for money, asking for support, asking for help. Sometimes just asking, to speak to them. They're ignored though, and it's a part of the culture in New York, and it's like you see a painting hanging on a wall. It just goes nowhere. It stays there. No one really. Sometimes people look at it, some people who don't. So that's to me what Subway Art represents. It's just the culture of New York. It's the art of New York, riding the subway. You have people selling candy, dancing, singing on a train. Yeah, it's amazing. Those shows always scared me a little bit. I'm like, bro, if you fucking kick me in the head, I don't give a shit. We're having a fight right now. But, then you got I seen these Motown guys on the train. They were like, they weren't from Motown, but they were singing like Motown records. There's 6 of them. And I was like, I gave them like $10. I was like, this shit's awesome. So it's part of the culture of New York, and I wanted to shed light on that.
Nice. Now, you're a relative newcomer as a solo artist, but, you've been around the block in the business as far as, like, writing and collaborating with people. You were just on Fabulous's last project, and you've worked with a ton. I remember when you first tweeted about Subway Art, and, like, all these people that are, like, these hit producers and singers are like, oh, man, Tisha's coming out, and it's like, wait, all right, so she's been around the block a little bit. So for people who may not be as aware of your rap sheet, could you fill some people in on, the people you worked with in the past?
All right, so I'm published with Universal. That happened in 2012. I've worked with Kelly Rowland. I've worked with Polo the Don. Recently, I went in with Ye, which was really fun. Diddy I've been working with. I've written on Alicia's new album. And she's amazing. Fab, Casey Veggies. I have a song coming out soon with Dom Kennedy from LA called Bad, Too Bad. It's really cool. Shit, Mario Winans, Stevie J. Yeah, there's been a few that I've been in with, you know, and it's all amazing. Like, you dream of this. I dreamt about this since I was a little kid, so it's good to finally be like in the room with these people, and they're not only like there, but they're like, "Yo, Tish, you're the shit." I'm like, "What? You're the shit, bro."
Tell me what was like working with Ye and Puff. I mean, you know, those guys have been working on their projects.
Well, Ye, I'll say this because I signed an NDA with Ye. You had to sign one before you even walk in, so I love Ye. I respect him. He was very sweet. He listened and he gave me very good feedback, and you know, we went from there and just messed around a little bit with music. Not sure if anything will make his album. He's like such a genius. He has a bunch of people working, but it was a great experience. It was amazing. And because of him, I winded up working with Diddy, because Ye actually took my song Subway Art and was playing it in different places, and he played it for Diddy, and Diddy was like, "Yo, get that girl in here." So I've been working with Diddy, and that was amazing. And Diddy, I can speak about. He is, he's a fucking amazing. He's got so much energy. He's like, it's like he's 20 years old. You know what I mean? He's in the studio, he's working, he's creating constantly with tons of amazing talent. And so that's been a great. Kelly Rowland was amazing. We worked hours and hours. It was a long session. Polo's like one of my favorite producers that I ever worked with because he has so much energy. He was outside the booth just going crazy. I do enjoy working with the Futuristics and Bink, and that's how we got the record with Dom Kennedy. And Casey Veggie's such a cutie. I love him. Hit Boy, actually, I've worked with. I've actually known his last album, The Plug. I won the first song on the We The Plug album. And I really love Hit Boy. Really good dude. Really good dude. And HS87. And, like, I love the whole camp audio push. B-Mac the Queen. Oh, she's amazing. So yeah, those are a few experiences that I had that was pretty fucking awesome.
Those are a lot of experiences. So you know, with just as a personal aside, I mean, you moved to California to make this all happen. How did we let somebody, as a New Yorker, how did we let somebody like you slip through the cracks and go pop off in California before you came back here? Just that's what I want to know.
Good question. You know what? I won't say that it's about slipping through the cracks. I think that there was a scene that's happening in LA that just wasn't happening here at the time. And like even here, like I didn't get as much work here as I got in LA. Like there's more people in LA actually working constantly. You know, the weather is beautiful. Everyone's much more open. The moment that I got to LA, it was like everyone knew I was there. The moment I got there, and I was working 3 sessions a day. As to like in New York, I did like some work with Remo the Hitmaker. And we got our first placement. That was my first placement on Nicole Scherzinger with Remo the Hitmaker and the Hitters. So once I got the opportunity to go to LA, I just left. It wasn't even like, I didn't even get hot and come back and try here. So I wouldn't say that they let me slip through, but it was just like, why the fuck would I stay? I'm going to LA, it's warm, it's amazing. And I'm from the Bronx, so I was ready to go to the West and feel a little different.
Yeah, definitely. So your album, you know, it's your first solo project that, you know, the world's gonna get to hear pretty soon. What could we expect from that?
A lot of emotion. It's really emotional, guys. I cried damn near every studio session, and mainly because it's just I really wanted to show people where I came from, because I've been in LA for almost 5 years. I've been fine. I've been living well. I haven't been going through any of the stuff that I went through in the Bronx, but a lot of the stuff that I went through growing up made me who I am. I didn't want to make an album that just reflected where I am right now. I wanted to make an album that says, you know, this is where I'm from and this is how I came up, but it doesn't matter. I'm here now. And it doesn't matter where you're from, it's all about where you're going. And I wanted to show that again. I feel like Jay-Z did that. I feel like, you know, Nas, I feel like they all did that. But it's been a while, and these kids still need to be shown this. And I wanted to talk about topics that may or may not be conveyed in music now, in a way that people gravitate towards it and receive it well. So it's like, I call it teaching, not preaching. You know what I mean? Because I'm not coming from up here. I'm like right here with you, nigga. I smoked weed, I done robbed people, I done sold some crack. I done been around it all, and I'm not judging anybody for it. I'm just saying it's time we do better. And it's time that music gives these kids some sort of for me, it was about more like making music that I would want my little cousins to listen to. My cousin was just killed in February. He was shot in the head in the Bronx. And you know, I remember him being alive and me always saying, what is your music about? You're always talking about this violence, and you're the only boy in a family of girls. You're not a fucking gangster. We would kick your ass before you get. I could kick his ass. You know what I'm saying? And this kid just wanted so much to be tough. And I think that the music, some of the music these days, make kids feel like you have to be this gangster. It's like, just because you're from the ghetto doesn't make you a gangster. It's just like, yo, you're in the hood, but you can be whoever you want to be. And I wanted to make an album that reflected that, not, you know, glorifying the violence or the drug usage or sell it. Even though, you know, I'm not like holier than thou at all. I like to drink, I like to party, but I believe there's a balance. So I think on this album, you're gonna get a good balance of emotion, turn up shit, and I'm turning up, but even when I'm turning up, there's a message. It's very message driven, but like I said, it's teaching, not preaching. So I think the kids are gonna fucking love it.
Nice. We're all very much looking forward to that. Last question I want to ask you. You kind of alluded to it before, but since this is like your first, you know, step out on your own as, you know, a solo artist, and, you know, being able to write for all these people, and, you know, obviously that's a great opportunity, but, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and assume, I don't want to make an ass of myself, I'm going to go ahead and assume there's more value in writing for yourself than writing for other people. What is the, like, lasting message that you want people to take from you if, you know, your first album is the only thing they hear from you?
If you have a dream, whatever that is, a lot of the time I feel like music makes you feel like if you're not in entertainment or something, you're not doing anything, and that's ridiculous. If you have a dream, you could be a lawyer, you could be a doctor, you could be a fucking janitor. I believe that whatever you do, if you do your best at it, you can be the best in it, which will provide you to live the type of lifestyle that comes with being the best. So I say to people, whatever you want to do, just go for it. Don't listen to anyone who says you can't. Don't look at the time. Don't put a time on yourself. Just keep going, because you just never know when it's going to happen. And it's not over. You know, believe in yourself, because that is pretty much what Dedicated To is about. It's dedicated to anyone who's ever felt like they couldn't do nothing, or like that felt like they were being held back by something that's really irrelevant, like your skin color and your sexual orientation, or like how you dress. It's dedicated to that, and also I'm dedicated to what I do. And it ain't gonna be the last album y'all hear from me. I'm already working on album number 2. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. I'm here to stay. But yeah, just believe in yourself, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what it's about. Yo, what up? This is Tish Hyman, and you're checking out thestash.com. Keep your eyes on the prize, because you never know how high you can touch the sky.